What's up, everybody? It is M. Baines here, Quest Podcast, and we are ready to go with another week of some good topics. Go ahead and hop right on in the show. Introduce the panel. Missing one, but that's okay. First, we have Leo.
It's me, Yukon Cornelius, hanging out. Ready to talk some shit on here.
Introduce the panel.
Make fun of Dark Optimus, like I like to do, and should be a good show tonight.
Who doesn't? Mr. Doc Otter.
Oh gosh, really? Now I got Baines saying it too. Jeez, feeds, man.
Man.
I guess. What's up, everyone? It's good to be here tonight. As you guys know, we have a $25 Xbox Live gift card thing going out tonight, but I want to give a huge shout out to Iceman in the community. He actually DM'd that to me last night, so huge shout out to him for providing that to us. So we'll be giving that away a little later in the evening. But if you guys want to be able to get a chance to be in the running of getting that, definitely go to our Facebook page and like it, and we'll pick a follower from our Facebook page, and we'll post that up on Facebook, the winner.
All right. Y'all go ahead and get your post up. You can get that money, $25. We're going to hop right on into things tonight. First, we're going to start out with what we've been playing. Leo, what have you been playing this week? Yukon. He's not there. Dark Otter. What you been playing this week, man?
Man,
you dipped out. I didn't hear what you said, but go ahead.
Okay, what you been playing this week, man?
Random games here and there. I was trying to get my Chivos to 80K, which I did. I beat up. Finally, man, fucking years
one
of
achievement.
fucking
didn't you get an achievement that was worth one to clean it up or something?
Yeah, because I wanted to be exactly 80,000 when I was getting to it. So I went through the fucking internet trying to find what Chivos I could get. That was just 1 point, and it was this random fucking double dragon shit. All you do is turn the game on, and it's like, here you go. Cool. So it evened me out, so I can get the 80. But I tried out that zombie game that's on Games of Gold. It definitely feels like a Wii U game. I can tell that they got the integration for the pad and all that kind of stuff, but it's not a bad port. I've been enjoying it, and played some Siege still, and then a couple random games I've been finding on, just little indie games, but nothing crazy besides that.
All right, Adams, what you been playing, man?
Mostly just been playing Mario Kart 8, man, and then I've been playing a lot of Hitman, the complete season 1.
Ooh.
It's good. I like it. It's a good game. It's challenging, which I like a lot. Every Hitman game has been pretty challenging, but I feel like this one has been top notch in the challenging area.
Okay. So, how's the enhancements look on that Hitman?
It looks good, man. The game looks fantastic. It's pretty much close to PC, in terms of just like graphics wise and stuff, and I think the frame rate's at 30 frames per second, but I don't really notice it as much. I'm not really a frames per second kind of person.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really notice those kind of things, but it's a locked 30 frames, so you're not going to get any jitters or anything like that. Mechanically the game is perfect, like in terms of if you like Hitman.
Okay. All right, and I've been playing a little bit, really a little bit, of Persona 5 and then PUBG, when I can here and there this week. And that's been about it for me. We're going to go ahead and move into the topics. First off, we have the Nintendo Mini Direct. Did either of you guys check it out? Or Leo, did you check the Nintendo Direct out?
Yeah, I watched it. I'm all about that Mario Tennis, man. That's a That looks pretty cool. It's a Mario game that I liked a lot back in the 4 days. I think it's a fun little thing. I'm not too big into Mario everything, but
Right.
Mario Tennis is pretty fun. A couple of other games I'm not too familiar with. There's a lot of what they're doing is they're taking a lot of Wii U games that didn't get a lot of attention, like that Donkey Kong game. Personally, I'm not a big Donkey Kong fan, but I know a lot of people are, and I've heard a lot of good things about that game. The Freeze One, Country Freeze, or something like that. But they're taking these games that didn't get a lot of attention on the Wii U, which was, kind of the little hidden secret with some of these games, and they're pulling them on the Switch, which is getting a lot of attention. So they're kind of giving these games a second life, which I'm all for. So I hope they keep doing this. I like it.
Yeah, I never, I don't know too much about the Wii U's catalog, but I'm pretty sure there's a bunch of games on there that a lot of people didn't get to play because the Wii U basically sucked as a console. So people weren't worried about that. I'm interested in the World Ends With You. I don't know if you saw that one. Looked like a little kind of remind me of like a Streets of Rage type, but just a little bit, the graphics a little bit better on it. But apparently it's got like a cult following. A lot of people really like the game. So I might pick that up. Only thing about Nintendo is you have that Nintendo tax, and that thing is real. And I mean, they're charging $60 for a lot of these games when they really should be. But that's neither here nor there. I guess you can be patient enough to wait for a sale. Ease 8 is one that's out too. I mean that they have coming out too, and I think I think they said this was a 3DS port, or it's 3DS remastered, I believe. But it's an RPG, so it seems like it'll be a pretty big RPG, and so I'm somewhat interested in that. And then that was it, man. The Mario Tennis,
Wasn't that mini too, or no? I didn't. Was that later?
Say it again.
They did have Dark Souls, yeah.
Yeah, the mini that was in the. You're asking if that game was in the mini?
Yeah, I didn't know if it was in the mini or not. I know it was announced right alongside it.
It was in the mini. It was right at the end of the mini.
Yeah,
that's where it was.
Okay.
So, I mean, the Mario Tennis, it's got a story mode. Yeah, like you said, Mario everything. I'm straight on that, and the rest of it, you got Kirby, new Pokemon battle. I think the players are I guess
some new Pokemon.
Yeah, Pokemon, whatever that. I've never been into Pokemon. So they also bringing Donkey Kong to Mario plus Rabbids. So I mean, for people interested in that, I guess that'll be cool. But I mean, it just wasn't much for me personally. They did add like a little balloon port, a balloon finding game or whatever in Mario Odyssey, but it's a free mode, but still it's just kind of childish to me. Like I can't get with that. I'm not gonna waste my time doing that. So I mean, but it's free. So I guess that's something you can say about it. What about you, Artemis? Did you find anything in the Direct Mini that you're probably gonna pick up or that you're interested in?
Oh, dude, I saw a ton of stuff I'm interested in. Okay, I saw Donkey Kong, Country, Tropical Freeze. Dude, I'm excited for that. I know it's a port, but you know what? It's one of those things, and I'm like, I definitely have to pick that up because I didn't get it for the Wii U, and I never had a Wii U, so it's kind of like, I'm not, I wasn't gonna go out and buy one. Especially now, I mean, there's so many ports coming from the Wii U over to the Switch, so it's like, we're gonna get so many other, titles that a lot of us haven't played yet.
Right.
I definitely Kirby, dude. Oh my gosh, like I'm stoked for Kirby. Like,
are you really?
I know. Yeah, dude. I'm telling you right now, I'm stoked for Kirby, dude. I love Kirby. Like, Kirby is like one of my top games, in history of like just where it came from and how it was created and everything. And then of course Mario's there too, but definitely Kirby is right up there with Mario. Not in terms of course recognition or Or yeah, you know, he's
Yeah.
there, but you know, they also had what was it? It was the uh the little indie game that they announced there for a second.
I was talking about the world ends, but I don't know if you would. If
Yeah,
that's
the world ends with you. Yeah,
yeah.
that one
See,
right
I'm
there.
interested.
Yeah,
I'm somewhat interested in that one. Yeah.
that one looks interesting. It looks cool. It looks kind of like a beat 'em up, you know, an RPG beat 'em up.
Yeah.
I kind of like that. You know, I'm like interested. You know, especially since you know you can take the Switch on the go and stuff. That definitely intrigues me a little bit here and there. Dark Souls, I really wasn't like, oh my gosh, like I want to play that on the Switch. I wasn't really like, oh man, that would be cool. It was just kind of like, oh, Dark Souls remastered, that's cool. Apparently, from somebody I know in the community who was telling me that that they're remastering it to have more of the Dark Souls 3 combat. So it'll be a little bit faster of a combat system in that. So I mean, that's good. I mean, I'm glad to see that they're kind of playing off of Bloodborne and Dark Souls 3, with the faster combat.
Right.
I liked Mario Tennis, man. Oh my gosh, dude. Oh man. When I saw Mario Tennis and I was all like, oh, this is cool. It's Mario Tennis. It's a sports game. I probably won't pick it up. And then they said the story mode, and that's when I was all like, holy crap, this changes the game. Like this changes everything, because they haven't had a story mode in Mario Tennis since GBA, which is Game Boy Advance, if anybody doesn't know that.
Okay.
It definitely it shows that they're really trying to do something different, man. And I really enjoyed this little mini direct. Most of it was just trailers, but they did have some pretty big announcements like Kirby and things like that. They have, they really had their first part of the year planned out, especially like you said, Ys 8 is coming
Yeah. I'm definitely looking forward to that one.
in the summer, and that that right there, I mean, like alone is worth buying a Switch for, because I mean that if you don't have a PS4 and you have a Switch, you'll be able to play Ys 8, and there's a lot of people who don't have PS4s or who have Switches, and so I mean you'll definitely get to experience that franchise a little bit. If you guys don't know, Ys is more along the lines of like it's kind of like Xenoblade Chronicles, but oriented a little bit more like not Witcher status, but like more like almost kind of like Final Fantasy 15 status. That's what it's like, but kind of more in the realm of it's kind of like a mixture of Monster Hunter and Xenoblade Chronicles and Final Fantasy put together. Kind of just meshes them together. It's pretty good. It's a good series. Definitely, you guys are gonna have to check that out when that comes out. But yeah, man. I mean, they definitely are on a right track to taking all my money. So.
Yeah, it seemed like you really enjoyed it, man. I like I was telling Leo, like I took just a couple of things away from it, like Ys 8. I'm really looking forward to that. And I was just hearing that the world ends. What is it? The world ends with you or whatever.
Yeah.
I was hearing that had a cult following. A lot of people, were saying it was pretty good game. So I was thinking about maybe checking that one out. But I was also telling him, like, Nintendo has this I guess this bad omen over it, that there's a certain tax that they have with their games that they're over, or that maybe remasters. They're charging like full price for some of these games, and they can't. Like, I think that Donkey Kong is a $60 game, and like that just doesn't make sense. And I think over the long run that may hurt them. But there are some gems there. It was just, overall, it was just mad to me, but it sounded like you enjoyed it. We'll go ahead and roll another topic into this. Everybody knows about the the new Nintendo thing, the Lamo. Oh, my bad, it's the Labo.
The Labo. The Lamo. Wow, dude. Dang.
I'm sorry, man. That shit's lame to me, man. Like, really, cardboard?
It's
like,
for kids,
I was
man.
watching Soldier Rev's video, and he was talking about, I don't know, you have to be at a certain age to remember this, but like you used to get the cereal boxes, and they would have like the things you could cut out the back of the box when you're done with the cereal, and you can put it together and it'd be a little something you can play with. He was like, Nintendo just took that idea and brought it to the Switch. So it's crazy, man. But I mean, I guess there's people out there that's gonna like it. I really can't give it that. That's not what I got my Switch for. What did you guys think about it?
When I saw it, I was like, "This is interesting. It's smart. It's smart for them to do something like this because they know parents are going to go out and buy their kids this because their kids are going to want it. Even though it is cardboard, they're still like, oh my gosh, there's a robot. There's kids are very, they love this kind of stuff. They love building things and things like that. Especially, I know for a fact, with my nephew, he's gonna love this game, and I can't wait to actually get it for him. I definitely will play it with him, but I don't see myself. I don't see myself like, buying it right away, but I definitely see myself buying it in the future. Just because he's still like a little bit young yet, he's still little too young for that kind of experience because it's cardboard. It's gonna break pretty easily. I mean, it's gonna be good cardboard probably more than likely, but it'll definitely have its wear and tear on it. But I think it's more for, honestly, I think it's between the ages of 7. Well, yeah, 7 and 10 probably around that age frame. So I think this is going to be a huge Christmas item probably. It's definitely going to be a huge thing for Nintendo to be kind of doing. I mean, it's really just for kids. I mean, I don't see an adult buying it, but who knows? There are a lot of kids at heart out there, so.
Yeah, well, like I said, I can see the appeal for kids too, but I mean, it's just crazy. Nintendo strikes again. They're bringing that little gimmick that a lot of people probably hop on. We'll have to see how it does. What do you think, Leo?
I think Nintendo's got huge ass balls for trying to make cardboard a thing. I mean, everybody says cardboard right away. They're like, oh, it's made out of cardboard. It's going to be good cardboard, no doubt. I mean, it's going to be probably almost as good as plastic as long as you don't get that shit wet. It probably has something on it to keep it from getting wet, honestly. So the quality is probably not going to be in question here. The real question is it going to be a bunch of little shitty games that you beat in like 2 seconds and they're not really fun? Or is it going to be like little fun, little party games where you do it over and over again for a long period of time? And that is the question. And we really don't know that yet. If they're little fun little party games, which Nintendo is really good at these, I mean, they've been making Mario Party for fucking 15 years or whatever the fuck, 20 years. So they know how to do that shit. So theoretically, these could be little fun games that the younger kids might really love. I mean, I can't see anyone older than an adult. Maybe some parents might get down on it when the kids are asleep, but other than that, it's really gonna, it's really gonna come down to, we got to see more of the game. It's not about the peripherals. The peripherals it's cool. It's obviously a gimmick to get you to interact with it, for kids to interact with it. I don't think that's really, people are focusing on that, but I think it's going to come down to whether the games are actually engaging for people.
Right. And go ahead.
Yeah, I agree with Leo on that. I mean, that's definitely got to be something. It can't be like 1-2 switch again, you know? Like Nintendo, you cannot make another 1-2 switch, man. It's not going to work, especially with something like this. It just, you know, they're going to have to be able to utilize it, you know, to, you know, without to maybe actually have several mini games for the little, you know, device, the little things that you create, you know, with the cardboard and stuff. That would be cool too. But it definitely can't be 1-2 switch again.
Well, let's just. I mean, 1-2 switch kind of figured it out really fast. Y'all are right, but I thought it would have more appeal than. Well, I guess it has more appeal for adults versus this. You know, the cardboard is more for the kids. Um, so I guess we'll see. But moving right along, and I don't know whose game thought this was. Sound like something Leo played. Scribblenauts, the game. I guess
it's funny you say that because I fucking love Scribblenauts. There you go.
I do like Scribblenauts. That's why I said something like something Leo played.
They had a DC version of it for 3DS where you could use like Batman. You could just type in whatever you want. You want Sinestro. You want some crazy DC hero you never heard of. You type that shit in and it pops up. And I love that shit. I thought it was awesome, man. I think it's a cool concept.
So tell us a little bit more about Scribblenauts, man.
It's pretty legit, man. Because I have a different one on phone because it's a fun like pick up and play game because the regular base game is just a series of puzzles. You figure them, you do them however you want to do them, and the little thing is that you can type in whatever you want. So you have to chop down a tree, you type in a chainsaw, and your character has a fucking chainsaw in his hand. You want to burn the tree down, you just type in flamethrower, and flamethrower pops up, and you can light it on fire, do whatever you want. It's pretty open ended like that. I'm not sure how they come up with this shit, how crazy open ended it really is. So it's a pretty fun game if you really get into it. But this one is like a party versus kind of game, and it didn't really say. I've clicked on a couple of things. I've read a couple of things about it. It's pretty vague as to what the PvP aspect really means. Like they show a little video of like them attacking each other, kind of. I'm not really sure. We need to see gameplay, but the Scribblenauts idea is solid. It's a pretty fun game.
Yeah, the way I was, it was describing itself to me in the article was more like, what's the game where you have the word on the card and you're trying to act it out, and then somebody has to guess what you're acting out?
Charades?
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of something like that in video game form, I guess. And that's just not my bag, If I'm gonna play a party game, I don't know, man. I'll actually play charades, you know what I'm saying, instead of doing something like that. I don't know. Scribblenauts, like I said, when I read it, I thought, oh, Leo liked something like this. I actually did. You know what I'm saying?
It's fun, man. It's fun. You can just literally whatever. It really is whatever you want to come up with. If you need to get across an open area, like there's got a little ditch, you could be boring and come and just type in bridge, or you could type in fucking magic carpet, and that shit just pops up. And you hop on that shit and fly across. Like it's really fun, man. It's pretty fun.
Okay, Adams, what you thought about it?
I read the article and I saw the little the image of it. It looks interesting, man. It's gonna have the little co-op, so it seems like it's gonna be kind of like a mixture of Mario Party, and but in Scribblenauts form. With you creating words and stuff like that, and it's gonna have mini games and things like that. Am I interested in it? Not necessarily. I'd rather have like a full-fledged type of Scribblenauts game, but I mean, it's something that kind of hold us off until we do get like a DC or a Marvel one. Like that would be cool if they came out with Scribblenauts Marvel or something like that. It was it's just I have no interest in it. Let's just say that.
Damn.
I guess Leo will take the cake on this one. we're gonna move on. The
True.
Monster Hunter World PS4 Pro bundle. What you guys think about that?
Oh, dude, this thing looks cool, man. You know, seeing that design on the PS4, it was cool, but it was like it still looked like a sticker. You know, it still looked like they just slapped a sticker
Yeah.
on there. But the controller, on the other hand, was like showcase, really the showpiece, because they definitely like made it look different, and you know, they almost kind of like took a playbook out of Microsoft and Nintendo with their like little you know, special edition controllers. But it was kind of like, you know, I hope they don't, you know, keep this controller only to that bundle. I hope they kind of like sell that controller, you know, in its own little, you know, packaging. I doubt
Mhm.
they'll do that, but I mean, holding on for hope, you know, for them to do that. But I mean, honestly, I think it's a good idea for them to kind of, you know, come out with the Monster Hunter World, you know, their little bundle for the PS4 Pro. It'll sell the Pro probably even more because, you know, there's a lot of people who love the Monster Hunter series. You know, and it probably won't sell as much here. It'll probably sell more in Japan, simply because Japan, they love Monster Hunter over there. But you know, I'm hoping that, you know, this kind of is like a little turnaround for all the, you know, console manufacturers to actually do stuff like this, like these Monster Hunter bundles, or, you know, Microsoft to do like a. I'm sure they're going to do like a Halo one or something like that, and
Yeah, yeah.
maybe even Switch do something like, you know, like their own little, you know, um, maybe their own like little bundle like for Mario, or the next Zelda or something like that. That would be cool. You know, it kind of, the reason why I put this in, or actually no, Remix put this in there in the I was just thinking about it. It just would be cool if if Microsoft kind of, I know they said that they're not going to do it, but it would be nice if they would, you know, take the Xbox One X and put it into, you know, have bundles for it, like, you know, like that kind of, you know, like Monster Hunter or something like that. It would be nice, but, you know, like you guys said, they have no plans to do it. So, I mean, hopefully they'll change their mind. I'm sure they will eventually.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. It looks pretty cool. At first glance, it does look like it's actually like etched into the console, but then if you looking a little closer, then you could tell like it may be a sticker. But there is some etching on the side that they put there, which is pretty cool. And the first thing I thought about when I saw that remote was that Gears of War remote.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the first thing I thought about. Which the remote is cool. I wish I could. I would probably purchase a remote on the side. I'm not interested in Monster Hunter whatsoever. But
right.
Monster Hunter must be a pretty decent title. I mean, I just don't know I mean, I hear a lot of people talking about it, right? Like, you know, maybe it may be a little bigger, but I thought it was always like you said it was like Nintendo or something, right? And
Yeah, it was always like a kind of a Nintendo exclusive, um, except that there was one on the PSP, and I think there was one on the Vita, maybe. I'm not too sure, but for the most part, it's always been on Nintendo.
okay, but yeah, the you know, if that is an etched design, that'd be really cool. But like I said, when I zoom in a little bit, it does look kind of like a sticker. But otherwise, yeah, it's a cool concept. I like it. Like I said, I'll be very interested in picking up that controller. That's about as much as I'll be interested in anything Monster Hunter. Actually, I think that beta is open, isn't it?
PlayStation
Yeah,
only, but yeah.
for PlayStation,
Yeah, I
yeah.
think I may go on there and try it because you know I don't want to say I'm not that. I mean, say I'm not interested in having tried it yet, so I'm gonna at least try it. But
I think it looks cool and all. I'm in the same boat as you, Baines. I could give a fuck about Monster Hunter. Honestly, it doesn't look that. It looks okay, but I'm honestly not seeing a lot of hype about it. I've seen videos, but I'm not seeing people talk about it. I'm not seeing like reviewers talk about like, oh, this shit is awesome. This is gonna be the greatest. This is gonna be a console mover. I don't think they're gonna sell a lot of these until the game comes out and people are like, oh, this game is awesome or not. Because I don't think that it has like big of a following in America.
Right. I thought, it was always a kind of a niche title.
Yeah, I think over here it's pretty niche. I think it's really big over in Japan, but over here, I don't think it's going to move a lot of PS4 Pros until if it comes out with the game is really good.
Yeah, like I said, I don't like to too much talk about it or put it down if I hadn't really tried it. So a big title, I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try that beta.
Yeah.
But let me know what you think of it, man. Because I mean, usually when you like something, I usually like it.
But yeah, we'll see. I'll definitely let you know the next time. We're on. I'll let everybody know what I thought about it. But again, that controller is beast to me.
Dude. I
would definitely get that controller.
That's what I'm hoping that they continue to do is come out with these controllers, but like sell them separate from the console. Kind of like what Microsoft is doing, actually exactly what Microsoft is doing with a lot of their exclusive controllers.
Yeah, it's just like that Sea of Thieves controller that we talked about last week. I definitely about the controller.
Exactly. It's like I don't have to buy the game, but I mean, as long as I have the controller, I mean that's good enough, because it's a cool looking controller.
Yeah. All right, well, Monster Hunter, I'll definitely give it a try, but it's not looking too good. Microsoft, well, the Xbox division has like a new boss. We know that Phil got promoted, so he's now like sitting at an executive seat. Mm-hmm. And then he has his position was vacant, so they filled it with what's the guy's name? Booty.
Something Booty. Yeah, something Booty, Mark Booty or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, he was
Mark Booty.
Yeah, he was over Mojang, the Minecraft deal.
Yep, Mojang.
So he's been there for what, about 10 years now, something like that. He's supposed to be a pretty good dude as far as gaming software, because he's been doing pretty good with that particular department. So what do you guys think about this transition? He'll probably be, I think it was, I have to give this credit to Warrior Ward. He said this on Twitter. He was like, this will probably be the face you'll see at E3. What do you guys think about that?
Honestly,
I think it's good. I think it's good, dude.
I think this could go either two ways. It could go really good, like Leo's saying. It's good. It'll go really good, or it'll be really, really bad. And the reason why I think it'll go the other way is in terms of bad, is for the fact that he was part of Minecraft. I mean, nothing against Minecraft, but he hasn't made any other games except for Minecraft. And I mean, yes, they don't have to because they make so much off of Minecraft. But at the same time, I'm thinking to myself, I want to see what this guy's going to do. If he's gonna bring us games that are just like beyond any other games that we've played before, awesome. We got to get rid of all these indie games. I mean, yes, we can still keep the indie games, but we need to get rid of like all these too many. There's too many indies like coming. They're
not going to get rid of indies when Cuphead is selling.
No. I mean, in terms of like, there's too many. They're showcasing too many of them. Like what they need to do is showcase more of the mature content. Unlike
sure.
It's like they've showed us what Super Lucky's Tale, Sea of Thieves, like cartoony type of content. I want more of the mature content that PlayStation's been bringing.
I think that's why it's good to have this new guy come in, because he's gonna feel the pressure of I just got put in this position. I gotta make something. I got the fan. Everybody's looking at me to lead Xbox in the next few years. So I think he might be greenlighting some cool ass shit. You know, he might be more willing to try new things because he's got pressure to, you know, make something happen. You know, because the last guy is kind of like he's getting a lot of pressure. We're not getting a lot of these originals, and you know, games getting canceled, all this kind of stuff. And so this new guy comes in here. I think he feels like he's gonna have to greenlight some crazy shit, or like, you know, maybe do some stuff that the last guy wouldn't have done, like get us some more games.
Well, see, I think Phil's issue, which Phil was the last guy, I think his issue was the guy he was reporting to wasn't at the top of the food chain. He wasn't reporting right to Nadella. He was reporting to somebody else who was over a full department, right? And so he had to figure based upon what he thought, or you know, what they thought, or what past games did, how they would divvy out their budget. And so maybe some of Phil's ideas never really got to Nadella. They stopped at whoever, I forget the guy's name, that was, you know, over Phil, that Phil had to report to before. So now nobody reports. There's no type of, you know, boundary. Phil goes directly to Nadella, and this guy goes directly to Phil. So
yeah,
software standpoint, that may be better. And the article seemed to be moving, talking in a favorable, you know, we're taking a favorable stance towards this guy in software. And so that made me feel kind of good that maybe we will have a lot of different games coming down the pipe, you know. And of course, obviously he's done well with Minecraft, but Minecraft doesn't have to, you don't have to really do anything. It sells itself with all the kids and stuff. But Mojang, like you said, Mojang hadn't put out anything else. But then there's that argument, like you said, they really don't have to put out anything else. Minecraft is making so much money. But I just like the direct line to Nadella now. So maybe we'll stop getting these one and dones. You know what I'm saying? Like Quantum Break was a one and done. Rise was one and done, even though there were some other issues with Rise and Crytek.
Well, that's the thing.
So maybe they'll invest more into, you know, franchises. So just in case the first one doesn't do well, they'll still be able to say, okay, hey, we think we can build upon that, make a second one, and it'll be a smash hit. So maybe we'll stop seeing the one and dones with the leadership structure the way it is now.
Well, we also, you know, like you said, with the one and done, we definitely got to see them, you know, pull something from, you know, and I know there's a lot of people out there who aren't PlayStation fans, but they got to pull a playbook from Sony and PlayStation and kind of, you know, utilize what they've been doing, you know, taking these games that are, you know, not really like new IPs and kind of taking them and doing one and then doing another one, and then the sequel does better because of the fact that they kept continuing to make more, you know. And of course, you know, there's going to be risks. There are going to be things where, you know, they're not going to make the games that they want to make all the time, but you know, at least at the end of the day, for us gamers, it's still going to be, you know, we're still going to get games, and we're not going to have to hear that, you know, Xbox has no games and things like that. You know, and I think, you know, it could, you know, from the good side, I can see that side as well, is where, you know, this guy's going to come in, he's going to be right under, you know, Phil's still the head of Xbox, but this guy is the head of the Xbox games division, which is like, you know, he oversees 343, he oversees, you know, not Playground, but Turn 10. He oversees those studios and kind of sees, you know, what they're doing, and maybe he might bring something to the table, like some of these new IPs that we haven't seen before, you know, things like that. So I'm hoping, you know, we get some good stuff. You know, I hope we get some more mature content. You know, I know a lot of people are stoked for Sea of Thieves, but you know, I'm still a little skeptic about it. You know, I'm still on the fence on Sea of Thieves, and 3. Who knows when that's coming? You know, we don't even know if that's even gonna come this year. You know, like I'm hoping it will, and I'm sure it will come this year, but. I mean, it's just it's still up in the air for that game.
Yeah. Like I said, I think it's the whole structure setup is better now because there's no there's no one blocking the path to the money. And the money is Nadella, you know.
Mhm.
So as long as there's nobody blocking the path to the money, then you can have a scenario where you'll get, you know, a different catalog of games, and you'll be able to stay with some of the games that may not do good their first time around, but you think you change a little bit of this, tweak a little bit of that, and they may be successes their second time around.
Yeah.
So, I mean, just keeping on the same vein, Playground Games is well, it was rumored, but now we pretty much know it's a fact that Playground Game is going to be working on a new Fable. Now, is this going to be a Fable that is falling in line with the series, or is it going to be a remake to kind of get new people in? What do you think?
Honestly, I think it'll be a reboot. I think it'll be something. You know, when they said open world Fable game, I was like, okay, I'm interested. I'm you know, kind of, you know, wondering how they're gonna do this. Because the last couple, you know, the last Fables, they haven't really been too open world. They're more linear than they are open world. So to see that they're kind of taking maybe some play, if they do this, if they take some plays out of CD Projekt Red, you know, maybe even take some plays out of you know, Guerrilla Games, things like that. If they kind of tail the line with this game and just kind of, you know, make a Fable that people are just gonna, you know, do all the promises that Peter Molyneux did, and we'll be fine. You know, like just do that.
Yeah.
Just do that, and people will be happy. But I think, you know, if they go above and beyond that, I mean, Playground Games we could see Playground Games do other franchises besides just Forza and stuff.
Now, I wouldn't. I was kind of thinking about this because I haven't really played the Fables. I have them all. I have access to them all. I just hadn't been able to play them all yet. And so that's why I was really wondering about, well, should I go back and play all of them, or is this going to be, you know, something to kind of encompass all of them, you know, within one story, and then move on from there?
Honestly, I think you won't even have to play the old ones. I think they'll make it so that you don't have to, because, you know, it's a new studio, it's a different, you know, it's a different company who's making it, and, you know, I think they're really just rebooting the franchise.
But that'd be good. When do you expect this game to come out? I was thinking like 2020.
Yeah, I was thinking something along those lines, or maybe 2019. But at the tail end of 2019,
if you're just hearing rumors of it now, you probably get a big announcement at E3.
But that's what I'm thinking, you know, 2019, because they're kind of going in the route of like not showcasing games like this until they're almost completely ready to go. So I mean, if they do show Fable at E3, then we'll probably see this in 2019.
It depends on what E3. If they give you gameplay, then I can believe the end of 2019.
That's true. Yeah.
If you just get like a you know, a trailer, an in-game engine trailer or something like that, then no, you're not going to see this game till 2020. So, and you'll probably see this game with the release of the new system. So that'll be back half of 2020.
Ooh, released with the new system. So you think that the next Xbox is going to come out in 2020?
Well, I think that is synonymous with PlayStation's next console release, because that will fall in line for them. That's 4 years from their iterative console, the Pro, right? So there's 4 years from the Pro.
Yeah.
So yeah, PlayStation will probably release in 2020 their new system, and I doubt that Microsoft is going to be. It's gonna be a year behind as far as the power narrative. I don't think there'll ever be a situation like that again, where you'll be able to say, "Oh, the PlayStation is more powerful than the Xbox." I don't think Microsoft's going to do that. Microsoft didn't start like that. The original Xbox was more powerful than the PlayStation. You know, it's
right.
Microsoft. This was unusual for Microsoft to come out with a less powerful console. So that's why I think like Microsoft will probably come out 2020.
See,
They'll probably release Fable 5. I mean, Fable 5. They'll probably release this Fable with that new console.
Honestly, I mean, I could see where you're coming from, but that's only like 3 years since the X has come out.
Yeah,
you know, like
I know
that's gonna suck, man. You know, if they do that. But I mean, if they do and they really like market it and make it like a cheaper console than PlayStation, we'll pick it up and buy it. But I mean, it's
definitely the
definitely
same price as long as they're more powerful. It wouldn't be
true. I mean, even if they're the same price and they're more powerful, whew, man, that thing's gonna fly off the shelves. I mean, and with what it seems like, we're gonna get more exclusives coming from Microsoft. It looks like we'll probably be seeing more maybe franchises going over to that system as well.
Yeah, I've started to think that Microsoft is really going to rely a lot on third party for the next couple of years, because I don't know, unless they have some big games that we just don't know about, that we hear about in E3 that come out in the next year or so. I think they're going to rely on the power narrative and third parties, and you'll get a game here and there. But I think when you're really going to see the floodgates open as far as their like first party lineup and stuff like that is with the new console, because a lot of these bigger games take time to cook. Of course, you're going to get your Halo, you know what I'm saying, and that's the thing too. Like we were saying that Gears will probably come out in 2020.
Yeah,
the last Gears come out, so you get Halo next year, and Gears in 2020. So that could be a killer lineup with the new system. You got a Fable coming, you got a Gears coming. Even though that would suck right now. That would really suck. If what I'm saying is true, if this is how they really work it out, it would suck. But that would be a powerful, lineup for a new console release. Gears 5, a new Fable, and then, who knows whatever else they may have in the pipe.
But that's the thing,
unless they've been working on something like really in secret that we just don't know about that's coming out in the next, year or so. I don't know. I guess we'll have to see in E3, but I can't see that. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I can see it, but I mean, it might not be a first party from them. It might be more of a second party
that they buy, right?
They buy, something that they bought. I could definitely. I don't know if I could see the Gears of War 5 being a launch title. I think they would really rather maybe do like a Halo or something like that for the launch title.
See, that would be too far in between Halos. Like Halo is dropping next year for sure if it doesn't drop.
No, I mean like they drop Halo next year, right? And then they drop
Gears in 2020.
But that's the thing, like, I can't see them launching with the Gears of War, man. I mean, yes, Gears of War. I love Gears.
Gears of War
is awesome, but
Gears of War is your one of your tentpole franchises anyway. That'll be huge for a system launch to have a new Gears that's spec'd out for the new system. So I mean, like I said, it would suck for me now. Like it would suck. But looking in the future, and that's a killer lineup,
But I mean, you got to think about it. You're saying 2020, so I mean, if they do announce that they're coming out, if we hear rumors that they're coming out in 2020, we have enough time to save up. That's the simple fact. And plus,
that they were coming out next year. Like that's the big rumor that was spreading around for a little while that they were coming out next year.
That's not going to happen.
That would be
that would be Xbox One X suicide. That's what it would be. The X, and plus, you'll be able to trade in your X, and then usually, you get pretty good deals around the time when you want to get a new console. So, I mean, it's definitely. I mean, if it does come to fruition, that's 2020. It'll, you'll still get a pretty good chunk of change for your X, but I think as well. I don't see 2020. I see 2021, probably more than likely.
Yeah, I would love for that to happen. I just want them, but you're still not going to see Fable or Gears of War until. But see, that's the thing. Like you're going to see Fable and Gears of War more than likely in the same year, 2020, right? As far as what we can see right now without any type of information, since they announced, they basically put it in cement now that Fable is coming. So 2019, I would think they've already been working on it somewhat, because we heard a while back that Playgrounds was doing a different type of game. We heard this last year sometime. We just didn't know what the game was. So apparently this was the game, right?
Yeah.
Back then, though, they were saying that it was multi-plat. Maybe there was some deals in the background that they said, hey, y'all, why don't y'all just do this for us? So apparently this is going to be the game, So they've been working on it already.
I mean, that's the thing. Playground, I think, honestly, if this game, if Microsoft does not pick up Playground games after this game comes out,
they need to.
then they're stupid. They're retarded. Like, they need to pick this studio up and have them be their first party studio, and let them make their own games. Let them make the games that they want to make. Yeah. Like, that's what Microsoft needs to understand. Like, they need to have their studios make the games that they want to make. Like 343, I'd rather see that. I know they're making another Halo, but they can have another team making another game. They can have more people on after Halo. After Halo, let them make their next game. Let them create something different.
Right.
Especially since Halo 6 is coming next year, like you said.
Yeah, I see. I can see if a team just says, "Hey, we just want to make Halo," but that just doesn't make sense as far as like a person who creates video game. They're an artist. They're an artist in a different medium. Artists don't typically like to do the same things over and over and over again. They typically like to expand from, what they've been doing or what they're known for. They want to expand and show you they can do something different. And so I would hope when it comes to that point, or if it's there, that Microsoft would be open to letting them do something else. It's a huge studio.
You don't want the same thing that happened to Bungie,
right?
Happened to those your first party, yes, you have Bonnie Ross, who's the head of 343 right now, but if they want to make another game, a different game, let them do it. Let them make something else besides Halo, because like you don't want to lose that pizzazz that 343 brings to the table. I mean, they can make good games, but they have, they've proven that they can make actual good games.
Mm-hmm.
With Halo 4 being the campaign that it was, and Halo 5 being the multiplayer that it was. Mm-hmm. They know how to do it. They just have to put those two together and make a game that they want to make. Maybe not something that's not Halo. And we'll see something better. Like PlayStation did with Guerrilla Games. It allowed them to create a totally different game, and is now, it's probably it was nominated for Game of the Year. It was one of the top games of 2017. So, and yeah, granted, there was a lot of problems with it. There was, problems with a lot of people in the community who didn't like it. But, it just, to each his own on stuff like that. But I think,
as far as critically, and as far as even a lot in the community, and I'm talking about the gaming community as a whole, not either section.
Right.
There was a lot of people that really did like that game. I liked it.
Yeah.
I thought it was a great game. So
there was a lot of people who liked it, and there was a lot of people who didn't like it. It wasn't just on Xbox side; it was also people on PlayStation side who didn't like it. There was a lot of people who play on the Nintendos that didn't like it. There was that side of people. But I mean, at least Guerrilla Games was able to make something that they were really passionate about.
And you gotta think it was successful enough for them to be able to make DLC, because that DLC wasn't made for the game. Like, there was no expansion pass. I was looking for an expansion pass. There was no expansion pass. That came about because of the success of the game. So
yep.
You definitely, that's a new franchise for PlayStation. I don't know that Aloy is a franchise. Like, you don't think when you think of PlayStation, you don't think of Aloy. You know what I'm saying? When you think of PlayStation, you think of Drake. When you
Yeah.
think of PlayStation, you think of, you know, other characters, not her. But maybe that may happen. You know, that is a franchise.
She could possibly become a face
Right.
of a PlayStation, but I mean, I honestly would like to see other characters in that world, or maybe even, you know, in different states or something like that. Because I mean, this was set in Colorado, and maybe you see the next one set somewhere else.
Right.
You know, it'd be kind of cool to kind of, you know, experience that. Maybe the next one will be in New York. That would be an interesting adventure there, because I mean, New York is basically a jungle already. You know, we might as well keep being a jungle. You know? It would just be cool to see something like that.
Yeah. So I mean, and you know, when a lot of this started rumbling, I mean, it said that Microsoft was looking at those type games. So maybe, I mean, that Fable seems like it's going to have a lot of different elements in it. I just don't. I hope they don't try to be too much like any of them. Just kind of block them out and do their own thing. You know, just you know,
Yeah.
just go for their own thing. You know, at least the basics. I mean, have the basics of some of those games, like good side quest, a good sprawling open world. You know, uh, take some of the things from Assassin's Creed, where you have Assassin's Creed Origins, where you had a lot of the characters, or you know, the animals and stuff in the open world doing their own thing. Like you will run past somewhere and you'll see an alligator just attacking some people off on the side, or you'll see some rebels fighting and stuff over here, like stuff like that. Just incorporate stuff like that on the basis of it, but then just kind of, you know, make something new, like do something different. So, you know, I'm looking forward to the Fable. I just hate it's not coming anytime soon.
Yeah, that's the only thing that sucks, is it's not.
Yeah.
It won't. We probably, honestly, I think next year we might see it, 2019. But I mean, that's really kind of, you know, that's really like, you know, pushing it to its
That's
brink, I
pushing it.
think.
That's pushing it.
Yeah.
So, I guess that's it for Fable. Next up is Fortnite Games is acquiring Cold Iron Studios. Now, I didn't know anything about this. Fortnite is apparently a mobile game studio or whatever. They made some free to play games, and now they're purchasing Cold Hard, who they were making a AAA type game, like an action pack adventure type game. So I didn't really know anything about that, but that's good. The space, because you always hear that, uh, you know, all these studios are making these AAA games and they don't sell. And then you hear the studio gets, you know, shuttered. But then it's always good to hear about another studio that you might not have known about, that's, you know, made up of people from games like BioShock. What else? There was a couple other games in there that were pretty big names. So these guys came together, made a different studio. Now they've been purchased by this other studio, and they're making up a AAA game. So it's always good to hear, you know, studios coming up with these big games out of the fray. You're always hearing about other studios getting shuttered. So
Right. Not only are they making a AAA game, they're making an Alien AAA game.
Yeah.
So that in and of itself it warrants them to kind of do something hopefully exciting, because they, you know, for the most part, it's been Sega who's taken the reins of the Alien franchise. And kind of ran it into the ground, and kind of made it kind of dumb to even, you know, except for Isolation. Isolation was actually pretty good, but I mean, it wasn't.
I never played that. You played
it wasn't on the terms of, like, you know, I think a lot of people really wanted, because I mean, they wanted to be able to, you know, have a fighting chance in the game, actually shoot the alien, and maybe, you know, not kill it, but at least, you know, wound it or something like that, or have it, you know, kind of stagger and kind of go away for a little while. But I mean, you know, Fox Next, you know, they're like you said, there's a mobile games company, and they decided to pick up Cold Iron and you know, kind of run with that. and I think it's because they really wanted to get into AAA games, which is smart. And I mean, it's a new studio coming in and making an Alien game, and hopefully they do a good job. I mean, it's really just, in a matter of terms of they make a good Alien game, we'll see this company for years. We'll see this company continue to thrive in the industry. But if they don't make a good game, they'll probably die out after 10 years or so.
Yeah.
Because I mean that's how long it usually takes.
Real, man. If you don't nowadays, if your game is not successful, you get eaten up really quick. Especially if you're not a studio that already has a solidified background, games
exactly.
Or a list of games that's already been really good, right? If you're a new studio and you produce a AAA game because they're expensive and they are not successful, then you will get shuttered really fast. Like even with Cliff with his studio, aren't they like breaking down or breaking apart or something? Something's going on there because Lawbreakers was such a a catastrophe. So a newer studio, producing a AAA game, if it's not successful the first time around, it's gonna get busted real quick. So
but I mean, to speak on Cliff Blazinski's company, that game that they came out with, Lawbreakers, that was not a time for that. It was, Overwatch was already out. People loved Overwatch. Overwatch was, is still the top, shooter, hero shooter game to play. Lawbreakers just came out at a time where, people weren't into playing hero shooters anymore, especially after, Overwatch just being the juggernaut that it is. And, if they are dismantling, I mean, Cliff's going to be fine. Like I feel bad for the other people, but Cliff will be fine. I mean, I'm sure he'll continue to make games, or he'll go into some other industry where he'll thrive and do his little antics and stuff like that. So,
yeah, I think just the larger point of even that story is that it's just good to see other studios coming up to make these big games. Because you hear so much about a lot of these studios not making it after their game goes kaput. It doesn't do anything. They're gone. So it's kind of good for the industry. I think it's healthy for the industry for studios to come up and take their crack at these huge big budget titles, because that's apparently what this is going to be. So from that, we'll move on to Camelot Unchained. I didn't know really much about this. It's basically a Kickstart. It's a Kickstarter game or something. It's this dude had a hand in Warhammer Online or something like that. I don't really get into these. This is more like a PC type title, even though he said he was going to bring them to the console. The interesting thing is that he said that this is going to be able to handle like 2,000 people in one world, like in one map or whatever. It's what I took from it. So you think 2,000 people being able to do their own things, and how that would make how that would form a world, and how it would be playing in a world like that. I mean, that's interesting. But that's about the only thing I took from it. What do you think about this Camelot Unchained?
Crap. I was like, yeah, I'm not interested in this at all.
I was trying to make it somewhat interesting, because that is kind of an interesting concept now. Because we're playing PUBG now with 100 people on one map. But just think if a map and you had a server system that was available for you to be able to have, even though there probably never be 2,000 people at one point, playing all against each other, playing with each other, or whatnot. He said it's going to be like 2 or 3 different factions, and I guess that would make up the 2,000 people, and they would be fighting against one another. But you just got to think about the logistics behind that, getting all of that to work on the server. Like I said, getting the server system together to be able to handle that. That is interesting. But as far as like this being like the what do they call those MMOs or whatever? I've never been into that type of deal. It's more of a PC thing.
It doesn't seem like it's an MMO. It feels more like a hack and slash type of game, but with more multiplayer. It feels like almost like it's a different. I would probably put it in its own little category of of games. But it's a cool concept with the whole 2,000 people being able to play at the same time. I just don't know if our internets are are fast enough for something like that. And I have good internet, but I mean, I don't even think I could play something like that on my PC or something like that because of the
most of the work is handled on servers. You could do it. It's kind of like this. It's kind of like the same concept that we hope that Crackdown is going to be doing. With the buildings being able to fall their own different ways, everything being different time, you being able to pick up, going into every room, because this is how they explain Crackdown to us in the beginning. Like you being able to go into any room in any building, you be able to take pieces of the building when it fall and use that as a weapon. Buildings fall in different ways. You're going to be using kind of like that same system. So I mean, the power, or I guess the computational power, wouldn't be handled just by your console or your computer. It would be like a server farm. Same thing. So
yeah.
Either way,
I mean, it's definitely interesting. I will say that.
Not interesting enough to go play though.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I'll just look at it and be like, "Y'all having fun over there? Oh yeah, for real? Cool.
Yeah,
cool."
Yeah. It's definitely not something I'm interested in, but I mean, it was something that I think it was good to bring up because I mean, there are people out there who really like this kind of battle arena kind of thing.
Yeah.
And we're playing PUBG right now, and PUBG is a lot of fun. But it has weapons, it has guns. It doesn't have swords like this one's gonna have. This one's gonna have like swords and things like that. It almost kind of reminds me of Chivalry, that online game, that online like knights and swords.
It was like a crappy looking game. It was a crappy looking version of Kingdom Deliverance that's coming out later, right? That's what you're talking about, Chivalry.
Yeah. Okay. Chivalry was like a multiplayer only though. It was a multiplayer only, but it doesn't look really good. It's kind of like that, but I mean, it's on a bigger scale. It's going to be interesting to see what they kind of do with this game, but at the same time, I mean, I'll keep an eye on it. Of course, I'll always keep an eye on it, but I don't know if I'll, want to bring it up again.
Hey, Supersonic Station said he wanted to hear what we had to say about the Nintendo cardboard. You came late, Supersonic. I know you came late, but we said
you came late, man.
Instead of it being called Labo or whatever they call it, I called it Lamo.
He called it Lamo. Yeah, I honestly thought it's gonna be an interesting. It is
trash.
Interesting concept. We'll see how it does.
But knowing Nintendo, they'll sell it. Like it'll sell.
Yeah, man.
Knowing Nintendo, they'll surprise the hell out of you.
It's a kids thing, It's definitely a kids game. So I mean, it's definitely probably gonna sell.
Yes, we'll see. I won't be surprised if it sells. Put it that way. But
right.
I enjoy my Switch for other games. I don't need cardboard. I don't need any of that crap.
No, yeah. I mean, I'm definitely not gonna. I probably won't pick it up for myself. I'll pick it up for my nephew or something like that later on down the road when it's on sale or whatever. But I'm not gonna pick it up right away. I'm gonna pick it up when it's cheaper. If it ever becomes cheaper. We know how Nintendo is.
Now, I've been seeing a lot of coverage for, just off topic real quick. We're by the end of this thing, people. Lost Sphere. You told me about that game. Like you got me interested in looking at it. And when I looked at it, I was like, "Oh, this shit looks like it's gonna be good." I've been seeing a lot of trailers on that. I didn't know that was a PS4 game too.
Yeah, it's PS4 and Switch, man.
Okay.
But I think I'd rather play it on the Switch, to be honest.
Yeah, that's more playing it on the Switch.
It definitely is, that top-down, old school
Turn-based, right?
Final Fantasy type of game. Yeah, like Final Fantasy, the old turn-based type of Final Fantasy games. It definitely looks like it's going to be an in-depth type of game too. So, I mean, Lost Sphere looks to be, something that's nostalgic, and hopefully it sells and we'll get more games like that. And
Yeah, because it looked like the art style was real. It looked like it had some like really good looking landscapes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
it's almost kind of like I Am Setsuna. I don't know if you played that game, but
see, I've seen gameplay of that. That didn't interest me too much. It looked better than that, actually.
It does.
That's what got me interested.
It definitely does. It definitely looks better than I Am Setsuna. I Am Setsuna, I think, was an indie game actually that came out. That was, it didn't really the masses, but I think Lost Sphere could actually have a potential to appeal to the masses. But the only thing is that game comes out the same day that Monster Hunter World comes, and that's gonna be an interesting day because
For you, I know what my choice is.
no, I mean I'm not saying I'm gonna pick up either one of them. I probably won't pick up either one.
Okay.
I'm saying it'll be an interesting day because who knows if Monster Hunter World is gonna sell more or if that's gonna actually create some buzz and stuff. I'm sure a lot of people probably haven't heard of Lost Sphere, which kind of sucks, but
we'll see.
I think it's going to be an interesting.
Yeah, I'll definitely be picking up Lost Sphere. Like I said, I'm gonna give Monster Hunter a try. Go ahead and download that beta, especially since it's open. I'm gonna go ahead and at least try it. But we'll see. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's our show. We appreciate everybody coming out. It did wind up being just me and Artemis. Leo had to step out, and Remix had some college engagements he had to take care of. But we missed the guys, and that to always go give Leo and Remix a follow. That's the family right there. Other than that, me and Artemis about to get out of here. I'll let Artemis give his own intro, though. Go ahead, man. I mean, outro. I'm sorry.
It's all good, man. You guys can find me on Twitter at Darkonomist. You can also find me on Xbox Live, the same name. You can also check me out every Saturday on the next podcast with Xbox 448 at 7 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. or not 8 p.m. 4 p.m. Pacific. Go check us out over there. You guys know how I get on that show. Also, if you guys haven't already, if you guys want to get into the $25 gift card for Xbox giveaway, definitely go over to our Facebook page, hit that like and follow us on there, and we will announce the winner on that page. So definitely go check that out if you definitely want to get that $25. And again, another shout out to Iceman for hooking us up with that, man. We really appreciate it. We're gonna continue to try to get more giveaways out there too. So we can give our fans what they deserve. I shouldn't say fans. I should say more friends what they deserve.
Right.
With gifts and stuff. But yeah, man, definitely, and we appreciate you guys, supporting our channel. Hit that like button and subscribe, all that good stuff, because we do definitely appreciate it. We definitely want to hear, definitely hit that, go in the comment section. We don't get very many comments, but go in the comment section, leave us the comments. Let us know what you guys want to see from our show. Like, let us know what you guys want to, if you guys want to see us do other stuff, just leave us a little comment saying, hey man, I'd like to see you guys do some more content, or if you want us to do some more shows or whatever, just let us know and we'll try to make that happen.
Yeah, let's do that. And I'm MBanes99. I've been your host tonight. Hey, just follow me, PlayStation, Xbox, and Twitter. All MBanes99 across the board. And yeah, I enjoyed it, man. Even though it wound up being just me and you tonight, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, we held down the fort,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
We did better just us two with than four of us. No, I'm just
Don't say that again. Don't say that.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Hey, you know how I feel about Lil Riri now, and Leo. That's my dude too.
No, yeah. No, yeah. We love those guys, but we're gonna get out of here, people. Have a good
All right.
night.
Peace.